Assalamu alaikum, I'm Alyssa Monet, and welcome to my August Find. So today I've got a little bit more of a chill setup for you guys today. I'm going to be doing a reading vlog, which I've never done a reading vlog before, guys. Reading vlogs to me give middle school readathon. Like, I don't know, it's a little bit weird, but we're going to try it. We're going to try it. I have joined the Afroverse book club, which is a radical book club for new and lifelong readers, focusing on BIPOC authors, specifically Black authors and sci-fi fantasy type books. So we had our first meeting. We discussed a range of books and kind of what we're looking for the book club to be like. The book that we have chosen is Severance by Ling Ma. So I'll read to you the book blurb or whatever. It says, "Is it the end of the world or just another day at the office? Candace Chen, newly minted New Yorker, first generation American, recent orphan, millennial worker bee, loves going to work. She likes the routine and the anonymity of the city. She likes coordinating the production of specialty Bibles, having a project to complete, an object to create, troubles to shoot. Sometimes she likes watching movies in her boyfriend's basement apartment, lather, rinse, repeat. So Candace barely notices when Shen fever sweeps New York. Families flee, companies cease operation, the subways squeak to a halt. Persuaded by a big payout to be a one-person skeleton crew at the office, she spends her free time photographing the abandoned city as an anonymous blogger. NY Ghost. Eventually, though, Candace will have to escape from Manhattan, enter a group of survivors led by a power-hungry IT specialist named Bob. They're traveling to a place called the Facility, where Bob promises they will have everything they need to start society anew. But Candace is guarding a secret Bob will certainly exploit. Will her rescuers become her captors? A send up and take down of the rituals, routines, and missed opportunities of contemporary life, Ling Ma's Severance is a moving family story, a quirky coming of adulthood tale, and a hilarious deadpan satire in which the end of the world gets put in its rightful place. Just another setback for an already besieged culture. Most of all, it's a heartfelt tribute to the connections that drive us to do more than survive. So I know it's giving COVID-19 pandemic. We lived through it. This literally happened. But I believe this was written actually before the pandemic. Let me see if I can get it for you. Yeah, so pretty sure this was written in 2018. That's what it is. I'm interested to see how it is. Some people in the book club have already begun it, and they've let me know that it's pretty interesting. It's intriguing at the beginning. I'm very much a mood reader, so doing book club things is a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I'm excited to read this book. It sounds interesting. Like I said, they've said it's intriguing. Also, when the pandemic hit, I wasn't located in New York. Right now, I'm based in New York. I'm based in Brooklyn. But when the pandemic hit, I was based in Philly where I was going to school. And I got like a taste of the end of the pandemic, and also just bouncing in and out of New York here and there. I got a taste of it. But I think this is just going to be a little bit more interesting, a little bit more. It seems a little more dramatic. Like, it seems like this pandemic in the book really structured a new society. Like, the collapse of society was due to this pandemic, and they're trying to start society anew, like they said. So I'm interested to see what it is. Without further ado, let's get reading. Oh, just so you guys know, the goal is to finish 13 chapters by hopefully the weekend or next week. Just it's Wednesday today, so inshallah, I'm hoping to finish the first 13 chapters by next week. So I'm gonna do as much as I can now because picking it up and putting it down, it's just not gonna happen. So let's get reading. Before I get too deep into the books, I just wanted to say two things. Number one, I wanted to mention I got this book from the library, guys, and I'm very proud of that. I know us as bookish lovers, we often buy our books because we want to write, we want to annotate, we want to do all that stuff, which is great and all. And don't get me wrong, I love buying, I love annotating and all of these things, but it is also important to support our local libraries. So after reading even just the first sentence, I think I'm going to enjoy this book, and I probably will invest in getting a physical copy for myself to own. But yeah, I just wanted to stress the importance of supporting your library, even if you check out a book to read the first couple chapters and then you purchase it after or whatever it may be, because libraries, the funds are getting cut. People are trying to control them. We need to show that we use and love our libraries. They are more than just places of books. They're really truly community resources. And in this past couple of months, as our libraries have been closed on Sunday, it's really sucked. And it's also been tragic because a lot of libraries are cooling centers. And in New York, where we're experiencing subtropical temperatures, 90 plus degrees for weeks now, that's upsetting that so many of those cooling centers are closed on the days that people need them because the budget has been cut. and these are more than cooling centers. They have so many resources, so support your library. The second thing I wanted to say was I started reading this book. I'm on the first page. I'm on the first page. I'm literally in the prologue. And I already know I'm going to love Ling Ma's writing style. Let me just read to you the first little paragraph. And if this doesn't convince you to read the book, maybe it's just not for you. So she says, after the end came the beginning. And in the beginning, there were 8 of us. Then 9. That was me. A number that would only decrease. We found one another after fleeing New York for the safer pastures of the countryside. We'd seen it done in the movies, so no one could say which one exactly. A lot of things didn't play out as they had been depicted on screen. It's giving me like World War Z vibes, like dystopian movies when but for me, World War Z is a good example, or even like The Last of Us. It's like the end was the beginning. The end of that civilization was the beginning of this new society where we have to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we're about to be in for a ride. I'm excited for it. And it said this has a little bit of satire, a little bit of humor. I love, I love, I love. Woo. Okay. I'm interested. And the first sentence of chapter 1 says, the end begins before you are ever aware of it. It passes as ordinary. So the first 2 sentences. If that ain't the freaking truth, y'all, even right now, like the time that we're in right now, I'm saying this is the collapse of the American empire. And people are just la di da di da, like nothing is happening. And it won't be until empire fully collapses that people are like, dang, it started back then. Honestly, even before now. So I just find that really rings true. Another example is in The Handmaid's Tale. If you haven't watched it, I guess slight spoilers, but not really. In The Handmaid's Tale, in the first couple of episodes, they start flashing back to, the beginning or like the before Gilead, and Gilead was laid out in front of them. It was in the way people spoke to them, the way people acted and treated them, the laws that were being passed, the way people were losing their jobs because of their persuasions, whatever you may call it, right? The way people were outcasted, etc., etc. The end begins before you are ever aware of it. Yeah, like it's right there. It's right there. And they're seeing that it's the end. And, I think in that episode, it might even be the first episode, I should have seen it. It was right there. And how her mom saw it. And she was like, I really should have seen it. It was right there. So this just rings so true. I'm so interested to see how they ended up where they ended up. And I think right now we're going back. Our main character is talking in past tense. So I think we're going back to the beginning. We shall see. Okay, friends. So first of all, can we acknowledge? I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it is pouring outside. The thunder is crazy, and the lightning is just like it's a bit much, but it's providing for the ambiance. Anyway, this fever, Shen fever, it's giving COVID. It's giving COVID. Like, I feel like I'm flashing back to COVID. I'm on page 19. In its initial stages, Shen fever is difficult to detect. Early symptoms include memory lapse, headaches, disorientation, shortness of breath, and fatigue. Because these symptoms are often mistaken for the common cold, patients are often unaware they have contracted Shen fever. They may appear functional and are still able to execute rote everyday tasks. However, these initial symptoms will worsen. This is a bit much. Also, I can't keep my mouth shut, so I'm sure there's gonna be spoilers ahead, guys. A spoiler now. I mean, it's not really a spoiler. I'm in the first chapter of the book, but in the prologue, it seemed that these 8 people, 9 people, whatever, are like the last 9 people alive, at least in their area, in their universe, personal universe, in their mind. They're the last people alive. They don't know nobody else alive. So this is a madness. They're like immune something. I don't know. This is a madness what's happening right now. But the scene setting so far is really great. I just feel like when Ling Ma is talking in here, or whoever this main character is, right? But the writing for now, because we don't know her name. Yeah, we don't know her name. When the main character is like talking or whatever, I'm just like facts. She's just spitting facts. They were talking about how like the illusion of New York City and how people like basically how New York City profits off it being an illusion, and it's really just kind of garbage. And I mean, I disagree. I love New York. It's my city, so I'm biased. I love New York. But it is kind of an illusion, especially like people come here. It was talking about how people come here seeking authenticity and the New York experience and like everybody can make it and like whatever, all this stuff. Then they go and they settle in Manhattan. Like you're not gonna find no authenticity in Manhattan, babes. Maybe in Harlem, but that's being gentrified now too. You need to go to the boroughs, baby. Go to the outskirts of the boroughs. Go someplace. Don't chill in the Lower East Side and Times Square and think you're gonna, find some authenticity. You're gonna find Magnolia Bakery. That's what you're gonna find. Yeah, anyways, it's just interesting because they're talking about New York as like in past tense, whereas now the world has ended. Me personally, as a New Yorker, I always find it interesting hearing how other people feel or think about New York and how they see it as this idealized place. And oh my gosh, that's like the movies. It's like just kind of mad to me. I'm like, this is just New York City. Like it just is what it is. Like, but part of the illusionary tale is they're talking about how, they're walking around Broadway near Times Square and the saxophonist is playing New York, New York. And bro, quintessential New York experience is going anywhere touristy. All that's playing is that song, Taylor Swift. What was her? Welcome to New York. That or in New York. Oh my God. If I hear these songs every time, I'm just like, here we go again. And I know everybody, all the tourists are living their like New York fantasy dreams, but it's just always so funny to me. Anyways, I'm loving this so far. It's very just like frank. It feels like honestly, it feels like I'm talking to a friend. I'm like, yep, agreed. Facts, keeping it pushing. So yeah, I'm enjoying. Page 19, many, many pages to go. Okay, so right now we're in the office scene where they're getting their COVID care kits. And I'm just thinking, like, she talks about coming into the office and there's like 300 employees, and that's the whole building. Also, the office is located like near Times Square in the center of Manhattan. I'm like, okay, this is a big company then, right? The company is big. It's got 300 people all together working in the building. And somehow the blurb stated that she would be one of the last people. Like she would be the only employee in the building. It's a bit mad. Yeah. It's a bit much, don't you think? Yeah, so I was just thinking about that and like it's crazy. It's actually crazy. You know, how and now I'm just thinking like how many people have to all right, I'm over the British accent. I'm thinking how many people are gonna die in this book? I don't know why I'm smiling, but probably just because it's fiction. But I'm thinking, yo, how many people are about to die? This is a bit crazy. If she is gonna be the last employee out of 200, 300, let's see. All right, friends, I'm exhausted. I just finished, I think I'm on page 58. I finished chapter 3. I want to keep reading so bad actually, but I'm just too tired. It's 11:30. It's time for bed. Um, but this is so good. So far, we've been jumping back and forth between the time before and like what seems to be the present, the time before being her life in New York and what she was doing for work and how she met her boyfriend, etc., etc., and her life after being this group of ragtag people that she's found herself among, newly among these people, hasn't been with them for long. So we're kind of getting to learn about who these people are with her. Because I'm on chapter 3, the prologue was kind of like a quick intro vibe. Then chapter 1 started with the before. So we got the before, the present, back to the before, which interesting, very, very interesting. I'm excited to hear more about her before, her life before, but I'm also curious about how she got to where she is right now. Like, how did you end up with these people? How did you survive? What is going on? Again, we still have the question of how did that 2 or 300 person office shrink down to just her It's like, what is happening here? We did find out how she got her job, at least. But yeah, I'm actually really excited to read more. I guess I'll pick this back up tomorrow. Like I said, I have to do 13 chapters by, inshallah, by the weekend. Um, yeah, anyways, thanks for reading with me. I'll pick it up soon and I'll let you guys know how it's going. Hey friends, I actually woke up pretty early this morning. I woke up to pray Fajr Salah and it was close to sunrise time, so I figured let me just stay up and read. Let me pick up where I left off. So that's exactly what I did, and I told you all about it, except I forgot to turn on my mic and all the audio was deleted. So here I am, just to make a little bridge video for you guys. I think I finished up to chapter 8 this morning. I'm getting ready to start reading again, but I think I finished up to chapter 8 this morning. So you'll hear a little bit about my thoughts in the next couple videos. Some of the audio was actually recorded, so alhamdulillah for that. And otherwise, read along with me for a bit and then you'll hear my thoughts. Oh, one more thing. This morning, I was sitting in my little reading corner and I spoke about it briefly and I wanted to show you guys. I basically was like, hey, look, I'm in my reading corner. I have my coffee. I'm ready to get reading, but the audio from all that was deleted. So you guys are going to see my little reading corner and all that. I'll show you that as well. So yes, let's get back into it. All right, folks, takeaways from chapter 4 and 5, because 5 was super quick. It was like a couple pages. Takeaway from chapter 4, I hate Bob. Hate is a strong word, but he's putting me off. Chapter 5, interesting to see how she got the job. It was kind of like, okay, where's this going? Where's this going with this Bible job? Yeah, Bob, he's just rubbing me super the wrong way. From the first time we really got to understand a little bit more about who he was when he was talking to her and trying to make sure she was okay, he gave her, the Pepto, and then he started talking to her about God and like the Bible, how she needs to be like, in tune religiously or whatever. And I'm just like, she just threw up. And now he's talking about how she needs to be more religious. And it wasn't only that, it was like low-key under threat. And he's like, and you need to step up and you need to be part of this team. And I'm like, you're the last people alive. I have no other choice. Like, can you relax? Can you relax? I don't even know y'all like that. He's talking about you need to step up. Step up and do what? You just want me to collect movies and garbage. Like, what are you talking about right now? And so now this chapter 4, the scratching on the wall, the random, if you know what I mean, is just like, it's giving scare tactic. The fact that he's the one who walks around with the tuli, the fact that he's the one who does the like mercy, look, it's YouTube. I don't know how much I can say, but the fact that he's the one who does all that, and then the fact that because she has like a softer heart and, found that girl and she was trying to just pretend like she didn't, the fact that she has a softer heart, and he was like, okay, well, now you have to do it. No, nobody else do it for you. You have to do it. And she was clearly like not okay. She was clearly not okay. And he's like, great job. Ah! No, I don't like it at all. I don't like people being forced to do things they don't want to do. If she's not for you, then drop her. If she's not for you, then drop her. Don't be like, you have to stick around, you have to do this, and you have to do that. No, you need to stop telling me what I have to do. Because if it was me and I didn't want to do it, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Period. What do you want me to pitch in with? It's not like you're asking me to cook dinner and do some chores. You asked me to do all the stuff that you want to do, even the whole rites and stuff. This is just a occult ritual, is what they're doing when they're going on these stalking things. I'm like, this is just strange. It's just strange. And for a man who believes in God and like all these faith and stuff, it's giving ritual. It's not giving. It's not giving mercy. It's just it's very strange. Count how many times I said strange. But anyway, All right, we're on to chapter 6. This is back to the past. Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens on this little work trip. Let's get back into it. Hey friends, I'm back featuring my disco ball. Do you like it? I love it. I left off, I had just finished chapter 8. It was majorly uneventful. It was just more talking about her job and stuff. Don't get me wrong, it was entertaining. Like I was enjoying reading it, but it wasn't anything like too crazy. I have been keeping notes in this reading journal, and I really don't have much to say. The only note I took from these past couple chapters was chapter 6. It was talking about the history of US manufacturing and how they exported labor from being made in the US to Mexico, then China and India, etc. So yeah, I just found that interesting and I wanted to make a note of it. But otherwise, that was really it. I think now, so we spent these past couple chapters all in the past, and now I think coming back to the present. Let's see what's going on here. I'm excited to learn more about the characters in the present, but I also am excited to go back to the past because I'm trying to figure out what happened here. How did Shen Fever take over everything that everybody is unalived? What happened? What happened? Also, guys, I'm not trying to be insensitive because I know COVID genuinely unalived many people, but I don't want to seem like I'm being mean spirited. If you feel a little bit away, I apologize. But this is just crazy. This is crazy. This is the next level. This isn't even COVID. This is everybody gone. So it's a madness. Anyways, let's see what the heck happens. I have time for maybe 1, 2 more chapters today or right now. So we'll see how far I get. Chapter 9 conclusions. I really don't like Bob. Mm, mm. Like, where does he get off feeling like he has this much or he should have this much power and control over other people? Like, when they said they broke it? Nah, nah, I would have been tight. And also in chapter 9, I noticed that um what's her name, Candace was like, I would say something but they might get in trouble with what are you in trouble with? Who? It's the end of the world. Somebody gonna call the police on you? What are you talking about in trouble? Why are grown people gonna be in trouble with other grown people? That just doesn't make sense to me. At the end of the world, nah, it's putting me off, it's scaring me a bit. I don't even know what would I do in this situation. Is it me alone with 8 other people, whatever? I don't know none of these people for real. One of them is clearly just controlling the whole group, even just like he's pushing his agenda on everybody. Nobody even knows what's going on for real. They're just like, we just gonna go with it. At least what's his name? Evan. I think Evan questioned. Smart man Evan. Let's see what's happening. No. I just finished chapter 10. I'm gonna stop giving like spoilers now. I'm gonna try to keep it vague. So if you read it, you'll know what I'm talking about. No, that was so sad. That was so sad. Gosh. And then they come back to you know who. All right, chapter 11. Here we go. All right, friends, I finished chapter 13 and it's getting real. It is getting real. But I have to leave it there. So, book club coming up soon, and then I'm going to finish the rest. This book is actually so good. It's actually so good. Yeah, it's making me feel feelings. I can see it play out in my head. Somebody turn this, put this on screen. Somebody put this on screen. It's doing its thing. So Ling Ma, you did your thing. This is the vibe. Is this her debut? I'm not sure. Sorry if I'm putting disrespect on your name and this is not your debut. But the book is good. The book is good. If you haven't picked it up or this is not on your TBR yet, put it on your TBR. Severance by Ling Ma. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. Also, last thing, if you're interested in joining the next part of the Afroverse book club, joining us for our next book, I will leave all the information down below. Last thing, one thing that this book club is doing is I don't know if you guys have heard of the app Fable, but it's another like bookish app where you can, you'll see books that read the reviews, etc., etc. But you can also host book clubs on the app and comment chapter by chapter. So if somebody else in the book club has read all the way up to 13 and I hadn't, I can go and read their comments and comment on the chapters as I read them. So I think that feature is really cool and it just makes for a more interactive experience. So Fable is a vibe. I'm loving it so far. Loving Severance. Yeah, but thanks for watching. I will see you guys in my next video.